Hello everyone, welcome back to Interpreting Tradition. It's time for another little chat. You know that I usually read books written by a 16th century mystic about the Mass and about books on mysticism and all other kind of things. And from time to time I take a break and I just chat with you about whatever is on my mind, something that I read or listened to or heard, and provokes some thoughts in my mind that then I want to discuss with you. I just saw a video about a little spat that the Pope and Dr. JordanPeterson are having in Twitter. And the Pope has a Twitter account, all right. And it's called hashtag social justice demands that we fight against the causes of poverty, inequality and the lack of labor, land and lodging, against those who deny social and labor rights, and against the culture that leads to taking away the dignity of others. All right, nice words. I mean, who can be against inequality and labor rights and so on? Who is taking away the dignity of others, I wonder? Not the poor and the vulnerable, but those at the top in charge who are using them and abusing them, as we see in just about every country in the West. This is what I want to say and why I am on the side of Dr. Peterson here, who is not a Catholic. You cannot be good unless you are just. If you try to be good without having the base being justice and charity, that goodness is not goodness. It's just sugary sweet words, sentimental words, trying to whitewash your soul, perhaps do away with your resentment or with your vindictiveness many times. And it's always the vulnerable and the poor that are used in order to wipe out the guilt of those who use these words. I have a chat, I think it's chat number 1 in my channel here, where I reflect, I chat a little bit about my childhood in an orphanage and so on with nuns. And perhaps you would, I explain it perhaps better there because of the influence that we had from people who think they're doing the right thing by using the right words. And all they're doing is washing their soul with the tears of the poor. This Pope is throwing nuns, all nuns, out of convents, leaving them out in the street. This Pope is very comfortable with the globalists and the very powerful. He welcomes them, the Vatican. He welcomes everybody, every possible section of society. But he's trying to throw out of the church traditional Catholics. I am not exaggerating. This is what is happening. Students at the Franciscan University at Steubenville in Ohio apparently, I can see that there are about 2,000 students, something like that, and about 200 ask for the traditional mass, the mass of all the ages, the mass that was there for 2,000 years until the 1970s. They wanted that mass to be said at the university, and they allowed it to be said once a month, one day, one time. And now they've come down on them and they prohibited it. And you ask why? There is a certain hatred against traditional Catholics, and it comes from the Vatican. I know it's difficult to believe, but this is the case. I have spoken in other chat videos about how we feel abandoned. So Dr. Peterson was right in pointing out that this is politics, not piety, and not charity. The problem is that we Catholics have this feel obliged to always obey the Vatican and the Pope. We carry with us, as I explained it in another of those chat videos that I have, we seem to carry in our psychological DNA the wound of the Reformation and what came after that, and the persecution of Catholics, and we tend to always, we feel that it is very wrong to disobey the Pope and the Vatican. But what I am saying to you is that this obedience is being abused from the top. I want to thank Dr. Peterson for, he's not trying to defend Catholics, but at least to say something out loud and calling out his hypocrisy. And I also want to thank an American senator. I'm not in America, not American. An American senator. I believe his name is Senator Josh Hawley, or Hewley. Sorry, I'm not quite certain. Who actually interrogated the director of the Department of Justice in the United States, asking why the FBI and the Department of Justice was actually surveilling and almost persecuting Catholics, going to traditional Latin masses and infiltrating them and so on. He's not a Catholic either. So, thank you, Senator. It's amazing that one American senator who's not a Catholic defended by that 5-minute interrogation, I saw it on a video, defended traditional Catholics more than our bishops and archbishops and cardinals and all those princes of the church have in the last 50 years. Thank you, Senator, and thank you, Jordan Peterson. Goodbye.